Good morning, everyone. I'm Rick Zanotti, and welcome to another episode of SchreckTeck. Today is June 26th already. It is a little after 8 a.m. on Pacific time here. Wherever you are, we hope you're having a great day. And joining us, as always, is our hostess with the mostest. Hey, Gina, how are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. I have my giant cup of coffee this morning, so I'm ready to go. It did take an extra big one. I was up all night editing video. My iPad or MacBook Pro crashes every time iMovie opens, so it was a joyous day of going to get it at the Apple Store, coming home and realizing it didn't fix it at all. So yeah, I have a few extra bags that I'm carrying from no sleep, but I'm doing great.
Well, sounds good. And we've got a guest today.
Yes.
Do you want to introduce her?
Yes, I do. Well, you know, Carol Schiller and I just connected on Twitter, and when I saw who she worked for, I got excited because Carol works at COZI. And if you are not familiar with COZI, it is an online, you can't really call it an app because it's more like a lifestyle organization system. And I had signed up for COZI quite a while back, and then just recently had downloaded it onto my iPad, downloaded the app. So I was really excited when I saw that Carol not only works there at COZI, because I want to hear more about COZI and all the different features, but also Carol does the social media management for COZI. She's the community manager. And so, you know, on this show, we're always talking about how do we use technology to build our businesses, build our communities, online, and so I'm really excited. So welcome and good morning, Carol.
Thank you. Good morning. And I haven't had any coffee yet today, so I think we're probably right in the same zone.
I'm so sorry for you. I wish I could like share my giant mug with you.
That's okay.
But
I had to walk the dog first, and that was prioritized over the coffee.
You must love your dog.
I do love my dog.
Yeah, we have no pets right now, although we're working on my husband. We're kind of wearing him down to get another dog. We lost both of our dogs a year and a half ago, so we've been petless, which has its benefits.
Well, I wouldn't say you're petless. You've got elk trying to get into your house, or deer.
True.
You've got two foxes coming to your back door. She's not petless.
Yeah, and that's what my husband says. His argument is we have pets. We feed our little foxes every night, and I now have got them where I can sit on the little step outside, and the foxes will come and sit right near me and eat. So,
yeah, but you know, it's not quite. I mean, it's just something about a dog. I did a post on Facebook over the weekend, and it broke all kinds of crazy records. I mean, it got shared over 1,200 times, and we only have 60-some thousand fans on our Facebook page. And you know, to get that many shares, I mean, that's sort of an Oprah territory. So people really do love their pets, I have to say.
And was the post about having pets?
Well, actually, it was great. It was a graphic of a dog, and it was a play on the words of the Police song. So it was every bite you take, every snack you make, every cake you bake, I'll be watching you. And this cute little dog kind of looking out. And oh my God, it just went crazy. It was such a popular post. And I have to say, I mean, we know that COZI families love their pets, but and I did anticipate it would be popular, but that was really amazing to see.
That is funny. Now, Carol, how long have you worked at COZI?
I've been there 3 years now.
Okay, so and do you get to work from home most of the time?
Well, I mix up. So I'm working from home right now, but as soon as we finish this call, I will go into the office. Okay. So I didn't have to dash to the office before my kids got up, but after this call, I will then, you know, kind of organize things and go in.
And that should be productive.
So, Carol, for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about what COZI is.
Yeah, so COZI is a mobile app and online shared calendar, to-do list, grocery list, shopping list, meal plan. It's sort of an all-in-one place to organize everything related to your family. And because everything is digital and in the cloud, you can access the data from anywhere. So think about how when you're on Facebook, if you log in from your phone or your home computer, see the same data wherever you are. So COZI works the same way, except what you're seeing is your family's calendar or their to-do list or their grocery list. So it doesn't matter whether, you know, mom or grandma are entering the information in from a computer or phone, then dad can see it when he's at work or maybe at a meeting and say, oh, you know, the swim meet is tonight. I know where I need to be and I know what time I need to be there. Or Oh, I'm in, the grocery store right now and I'm thinking I need to get some eggs. And then I look at the list and I see, oh, actually, we also need milk and juice. So I'll get that since I'm already here. So it eliminates a lot of the communication challenges and it smooths out the need for everybody to know where everybody is without forcing one person to be the family's personal assistant.
Which what I love about that is I have multiple apps. Number one, I was using Google Calendar. Well, I still use Google Calendar, but that way, no matter where I put the dates and things, it's on there. But
Right.
in order for my husband to see it, I do have to send him a calendar invite and that sort of thing. But then I had another app called Grocery IQ for my grocery list. I could email that list to someone else, but it wasn't that it was in one place. I don't have it on my phone. It's only on my iPad. And so there were
Right.
some challenges with that as well. I was always having to carry my iPad
Right.
with me. So,
Right, so COZI does, what's nice about that is not only does it put it all in one place, but think about the way an Apple product works. You said you use a MacBook Pro, and so because everything is in this sort of closed universe, Apple can integrate things very seamlessly. So COZI can do the same thing. So if you have something on your meal plan that you want to make that night for dinner, you can click it and say add to shopping list and everything dumps into your grocery list, right? And then once you've put that all together, you say, oh, I really want to know what day of the week I'm going to make this. So you drag it into Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. And then each thing that you have put onto your calendar for your meal plan shows up on your regular calendar. So when you're on your way home, well, what are we having tonight? Oh, we're having burgers or pizza or takeout. So it's all seamlessly integrated, which you can do when it's all within one app.
wow, that's really cool. So ours would say every night, going out here, picking up food here, going out here.
You can put wing it on your
actually,
meal plan. I think that's totally cool.
Yeah. But are you saying it actually takes the ingredients and builds a list for you?
Yeah. So what you do is you can take any recipe that you find on the web or add your own recipe, and we have a little widget that you put on your toolbar, and you just click to add it to your COZI recipe box. And then once it's in your recipe box, you can click to add it to your meal plan or click to add the ingredients from that recipe into your COZI shopping list. It moves about seamlessly between the different aspects of the app.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the things that really now we're looking at. We have so many apps available. It's how do we integrate them so that you can just have one place to look, one place to go.
Right.
Is there a to-do list built into it?
Oh, yes, there's a to-do list too. And you can organize the to-do list by person. You can also do it as groups. So my kids have, for example, a school morning checklist, which is different than their summer morning checklist. And COZI actually provides a list library. So let's say you're thinking, well, what belongs on my summer morning checklist? So you can just go there and then click to add it to a COZI to-do list, and then you can add your kids' names to the particular list. A lot of women have, sort of the dad's honey-do list. Or you might have, if you have a caregiver like a babysitter, you can add that person to COZI, and then they might have a list of things they need to do each day when they pick up the kids. So it's all sort of, what's nice about it is the lists are very, very simplified, and it's all in one place. There are other apps that have to-dos or groceries which have a lot more detail and a lot more depth to them. But at COZI, we feel like families don't really have time to play around with all the features. They want the nuts and bolts. What do I have to buy? What do I have to do? When do I have to do it? And for example, your to-do list, you can put a date on it and automatically dumps it onto your calendar. So you just know, oh, today, these are the 5 things I have to do, and it's right there in front of you on your calendar.
Wow. And this is, you go online and set it up.
Yeah, well, you can set it up from your phone too, but it's easier. I recommend people do it on the web just because it's sort of easier when you can type everything on a proper keyboard. But you can set it up from your phone or your iPad or any Android device or iOS device. And we do have an app for the BlackBerry as well. It's not as good because BlackBerry just doesn't provide as good of a platform, but we do have that. And
So
you had mentioned Google Calendar. You can. COZI does play nice with Google, and you can say, let's say somebody in your family has a Google Calendar and is totally committed to that. You can just import that Google Calendar via a feed into your COZI calendar so you can still see everything in one place, even for the person who says, well, I have my Google Calendar.
Okay, this is really an awesome tool. I mean, I can tell it's one of those that it does so much more than you think that it can do. The more that you dig into it, there were features I thought, wow, these are really cool. Have you found... like most working parents, do they have like favorite parts of the COZI app that they love?
I would say, it depends on your family because what aspects of it you use the most will depend on how your family functions. But the calendar is definitely the heart of the product for many, many people, and especially for people who have kids with very busy sports schedules or after-school activities, because COZI has a very simple way for you to add in calendars and schedules. So, for example, I have kids on swim team, and every week there's meets, and they're in a different place every single time, and they don't know, one time you have to be there at one time, another time you have to be at another. So I put that all in using the schedule feature in COZI. But other families tell us that what they use the most might be the meal planning or the grocery lists. And I think people really do appreciate the simplicity of our list. Sometimes less is more. We try not to add a bunch of features just to say, oh, yeah, we have that feature too. We try to make it really, really easy so that when you get on COZI, you're not confronted with, oh, my God, I don't even know how to start. It should feel like in 10 minutes you're up and running, done.
Right. Oh, no, that's great, because a lot of the applications, it's okay. It takes me 6 weeks to figure out how to use it. So by then, so it just winds up on the tablet doing not much of anything. Right. This actually sounds really good. And it's really unfortunate because both Gina and I could have used this, in your case, about 2 weeks ago, and in my case, about 4 years ago, because our kids are a little more grown up already. And but I could see a whole mess of other things that this would be useful for.
Shrecklet will have a list, I guarantee you, of things that she needs to do. She's 16. She's not too young for her list.
Right. And, my brother has teenage girls, and his family uses COZI too. And basically, what's nice is it makes sure that people are not scheduling two things at the same time. So even if your kids are older and don't necessarily need to be picked up, if you want the whole family to be able to do something at once, this way you can see who's got what going on, and it is very seamless. And I actually have lately started using, we have this feature called the COZI Family Journal, which I didn't use that much in the beginning, but I've really started to see how handy it is, because you take tons of pictures with your phone and then they just sit on your phone. But I just tap to add it to my COZI journal, and I put a little comment. So my daughter swam her first individual medley last week, and I took a picture of her, diving into the pool. Okay, it's a nice little memory. I'm not going to put that on Facebook. None of my Facebook friends care. But on my little journal that goes to me and my husband and my mom and my dad, yeah, they care about something like that. So I put that right in there, and I put a little note about how, maybe something she said to me at the end of the race. It takes me seconds to do it. And then later on, I've got years and years worth of photos and comments all saved in one place. And if you have little kids who are reaching a lot of small milestones, that's a really great way to save them. Yeah,
it is interesting. On our team, all of our community managers happen to all be stay-at-home moms, and it's interesting because that's what we're always talking about. What are the tech tools that are available to help us kind of manage everything? And we just have so much going on, and there's all kinds of activities for kids and for work and for personal appointments. And I mean, it's probably been a little over a year. I finally pitched the kitchen. I don't know why it felt like an obligation that every kitchen had to have the paper calendar hanging on the side of the refrigerator. Yeah. And it was kind of a pointless thing, because no one ever looked there, and if there was anything on there, it didn't sync with anything else. So we finally just realized, okay, we need a central place, and I was always in search of that. And COZI, I think I was exposed to COZI at a NAPO, the National Association.
Oh my gosh, you did see COZI a long time ago. Yeah.
I spoke at that conference, I think about a year and a half ago, and that was my first exposure to COZI. I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like the perfect tech tool that I need. So
yeah, the organizers really love it, moms. But the truth is, though, a lot of times what we hear is that dads are the ones who discover it, and then they tell their partners, hey, this is a cool tool, maybe we should try it. And then very often, if the mom is the more organized person in the family, she'll be the one who maintains it. But a lot of dads discover it too.
Well, I would think whoever, but typically it's dads, kind of get left out because they're just told where to be. They don't have that central calendar that typically moms carry of where kids have to be. And I'm the person who does all that, and I work full time and run a business, and I still would always send my husband, here's the thing we have to be at tonight or whatever. But I like the fact that it kind of gives everyone the ability to just take control of where, what's going on in the
now, Gina, that would be called the Yes Dear app.
Yeah. Well, what's so interesting is it really does. I mean, it's nice when, if you have, if you're able to say, oh, here's where you just need to be, and that person shows up. But a lot of times what happens is you don't have a chance to tell that person, and then they don't show up. Or worse, You thought you were supposed to be, he was supposed to be there. He thought you were supposed to be there. And now no one shows up and the kid's waiting at the end of soccer. Hey, no one picked me up. Or
Right.
like I know in my case, a lot of times I'll say, hey, you know, we're having dinner with such and such a family on Friday night. And then of course it gets to Friday and I hear, you never told me that we were having dinner. So now that's gone, right? That conflict is completely eliminated because it's on the COZI calendar. And if you didn't look, that really isn't my issue.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Okay,
I mean, you know that's where it is.
A couple questions in the chat room, and shout out to Dallas Online. See, she just said, "Yay! Shout out for NAPO." Yeah, and she was at the
they're
conference.
great. I mean, I'm so impressed with the people I meet from there.
Yeah, I know. I'm connected with a lot of organizers that belong to NAPO, and I learn so much from them. I'm always saying, I need your help. And if I could turn my camera around, they would all pass out right now. Online. So I can't do it, but I am going to organize my desk today. But here's a couple questions, and I think you may have answered this. DK Myrand, sorry, I don't know first name, but it says, can you add due dates to your to-dos? I'm assuming that's what puts it on the calendar.
That's right. So you have to do it in the format of month, day, year. So for example, if I put 6/28/12 right after, I don't know, take a package to the post office, then on June 28th? June 28th on my calendar, it will say take a package to the post office. Yeah, so it'll be in two places at once.
That date on there.
It automatically dumps it on as long as you put the date right after the thing.
Okay, that's cool. And then the other question was, are there reminders, anything that pings, or I always say we really need shock reminders.
Right. So there are reminders on calendar, any calendar item you can add reminders to. And I add reminders to almost everything.
I do too. I have to. Right. Yeah, I can remember when I had to pick up, the Schrecklet at school. She just got her license, so it's freedom for me right now. But it's my first summer of freedom, actually, because I don't have to drive her everywhere. But during the work day, I would be in the middle of meetings. I'd be in there, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to pick her up in 15 minutes. And we live 30 minutes from the school. So I always had to set reminders for everything like that.
Yeah, we do get a lot of people. I get tweets and I see on Facebook, but especially on Twitter, I'll see, I would have missed this PTA meeting, or I would have missed my parent-teacher conference, or I would have missed soccer practice, or whatever it is, but I got my COZI reminder. So people do tell. I know for me, I put even things that are really far out, like the dentist appointment or whatever, and then I set the reminder to come a week before, because who remembers, that dentist appointment that you schedule 6 months out? But if you put it to remind you a week before, and then you can add more, if you want to have multiple reminders, we have a premium version of COZI called COZI Gold, and then you can add multiple reminders too.
Which is a good question. So is there, what are the different levels of COZI?
There's only 2 levels. COZI is free, and you just sign up and you start using it. And recently we introduced COZI Gold, which is a premium version of COZI. So that means there are no ads. A lot of people feel like they want to have more space on the screen for their stuff instead of the ads, so there's no ads on it, and then it's got some additional features. So with free COZI, you get 1 reminder on any appointment. If you have COZI Gold, you have multiple reminders. And then when you're using your meal planning, you can see your calendar side by side with your meal plan at the time that you're planning it. It's really pretty handy. And then everything will show up on your calendar as part. The meal plan will integrate seamlessly with your calendar, and there's some other features to it as well. But so COZI Gold is the premium version, and free COZI though has the vast majority of the features. So I would definitely say start with COZI free, try it out, and if you're feeling like you really love it and you want to use more deep features, then you can always upgrade to COZI Gold.
And and it's cozy.com, which I was amazed going, how did they get such a great URL?
So it's COZI. Everyone should remember it's COZI.
True. I guess that's true. Not COZY.
Right.
Yeah. COZI.com.
Yes, and it's COZI, COZI on in the App Store, in the App Marketplace for Android devices, and on Facebook and Twitter we are COZI Family.
Right. I kept thinking it was just at COZI, and then I did a search. I was like, oh, COZI Family on Twitter.
We searched.
I love it.
It would come up to us either way because we have our settings so that we'll catch that stuff, but it's just good for people to know, especially if they're looking on Facebook.
Right. Okay, so I have to ask, what other, if we were to look at your, do you have an iPad or tablet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm
So
kind of a
what
Mac person too.
are you? I know. Well,
Yeah.
I have a PC on my desktop, and I've been a holdout because there are certain things I still like go to webinar and things you can't
Yep.
record on
Yep.
Mac. It's just frustrating. So I've had my PC, and yesterday I went in to pick up my MacBook Pro, and I had to wait for 20 minutes while they were loading something, and I was coveting the giant iMac, and
Yeah,
so
that
I
is a
came home and
beautiful
measured to see if it
machine.
would fit in my
Yeah, that is a beautiful
workspace.
machine.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that might motivate me to clean my desk.
Yeah. I mean, you can watch TV on that thing. Like if you have a Hulu Plus or Netflix, that is such a gorgeous machine. And it's so much computer for the money.
Oh yeah, it was just gorgeous. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I might be making it. Well, I know I have to make a trip back because they didn't fix my computer. But my question was, on your what are some other what's another favorite app that you absolutely love on your iPad or your mobile devices?
Well, I really love Pulse. That is a way to organize feeds from blogs and news sites. And I use that quite regularly. It's one of my favorite apps.
So is it
And
like an RSS reader?
it's kind of like an RSS reader, yeah, but it's so beautifully designed, and you can use it. It integrates with this other app that used to be called Read It Later, but I think they just changed the
Oh,
name of it now. But I still, in my mind, call it Read It Later.
right.
Where you can, if you find something that you want to read, but you don't have time to read it right now, you can save it to this
Okay.
application where
Okay, now,
literally it just stores stuff that you meant to get to. So at the end of the day, like
right.
before bed, you can say, "Oh, now I'm going to catch up on those articles that I saved." So Pulse combined with Read It Later is a really wonderful device for finding out what's going on. I follow a lot of bloggers. Obviously, I work in social media, and I don't have time to read every blogger that I love every day. But excuse me, but if I have it all organized in Pulse, then I can just say, oh, okay, today I'm going to read. I'm going to check out what's going on with the food bloggers or the organizer bloggers or the whatever. And
Right.
that's one of my favorites. And then on my iPhone, Audible is definitely my favorite app. I'm hugely hooked on audible.com. As a busy mom, I find that I've reclaimed my reading life by having that app because all the kind of mindless tasks that you have to do during the day, whether it's
Right.
walking your dog or driving to work or fixing dinner or folding laundry. I mean, we all have these tasks that we have to do unless you have servants, which I don't. So I make that time fun and interesting by listening to books, and it's such a delight. I look forward to some of those tasks now rather than dreading them because I feel like, ooh, I get to. It's better than watching TV. I'm listening to books and getting something done at the same time.
I love it. I love the subscription where you just get. I always feel like I'm getting a free book every month. But
Yeah, right,
but
right.
still,
And it's
for
so worth
fourteen
it. I
ninety
mean,
five
it,
is what I pay, and you get a book that might be worth $40.
right. And
And
the narrations alone are just superb.
love
And what I love is how the reviews, I mean, the reviews on Audible are pretty reliable. If a book gets a good review, the chances are you're going to love it. So
right.
I do love that aspect of it as well. I also do listen to books from the library, and I read a lot of ebooks from the library, but I am a member of Audible, and I love it. So I mix them both up.
See, we were having a debate. Does that mean that you're no longer? You can't say you're well read. I always have to now say I'm well listened. Or
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I do both. I definitely still read a ton, but most of the reading that I do is online, right? So that doesn't leave enough time for reading as many books as I would like.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to find out because you are the community manager for COZI. What are some tips that you have found to be the secrets to building and maintaining a successful online community?
Well, I think this is not news to anybody, but it really helps if you can relate to the audience that you're trying to speak to. So whether you're a community manager or a social media strategist, I mean, you still need to be able to relate to that community that you're trying to talk to. So I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I'm right in the thick of it. So no surprise that the stuff that I encounter on a daily basis and the stuff that strikes me as interesting on a daily basis is going to resonate with our families, right? I think if
That's
I
true.
was I think a lot of brands make the mistake. I mean, if I was, 20 and I didn't have any kids and I was out partying every night, what are the
Right.
chances the stuff that I would find interesting would be also equally interesting to our families? That just
That's right.
hard to have your head in that space. So it seems super
That's great.
obvious, but that's kind of job one. And then, once you are the kind of person makes sense for your audience, or your community manager is the kind of person, then that person is in a position to have an authentic conversation with the community. And that's really what good social media is all about, right? So you're using that authentic conversation to get insights that you can then use to improve your product. So the whole meal planning tool was devised on COZI because through our conversations with our audience and with our users, we began to understand what an important piece of mom's, and sometimes dad's, but usually mom's pie, getting dinner on the table was, and how important it was for her just to survive the week to figure out what is for dinner. So when we added the meal planner, it was no surprise, but we were very happy to see that it was a very popular feature because we did it based on customer feedback.
So your job a lot is research and development. When you're a community manager, you're really listening to the community to find out and research what they want. And
right. I mean, just sort of listening to the community and understanding the nuance. And, you don't always get it right. I mean, sometimes you try something and you think, oh, our audience will love this, and it doesn't resonate as much as you had hoped. And then other times you find out, wow, people love their dogs. We should do something about that. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I already started a pin board on Pinterest for pets. And, it was so obvious to me that people, we knew that people were excited about their pets, but that was kind of eye-opening. It was even more than we expected. And, even our sales team can use that. There's no reason why COZI is run by advertising. Free COZI is ad-based. So now that we know that, a huge percentage of our audience is excited about their pets, we can go to a pet food company or, go to Petco or PetSmart and say, hey, you guys should be advertising on COZI because clearly our audience is very passionate about this.
Now,
so
Carol, we almost went a whole show without saying Pinterest.
I was actually going to say, Rick, did you hear what she said?
Sorry.
We joke. No, we joke every
It's an inside joke.
Ever make it through a show without saying the word Pinterest.
We have this party on Twitter that I do called Foodies Night In with the folks at Cooking with Caitlin, and you cannot get through a party without people saying bacon.
Bacon.
It's the same, right? Pinterest and bacon. It's the crack of the day,
It is. It's like somehow that's the perfect world. It's this world we live in. It smells like bacon and it looks like Pinterest.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place to be.
Right.
Yeah, we love it. I bet you have a great Pinterest. I got to go connect with you on Pinterest because I bet COZI's got some great tips. That's another thing. I love all the NAPO. I love all the organizer boards on Pinterest.
Oh, I'm going to check that out. That's a great idea. Thank you, Gina.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's so many great tips. I hear the music. Rick's telling us we have to go.
It's our music.
This is super fun. I can't believe my son didn't interrupt us.
No, he was good.
He didn't even wake up.
Yeah.
Carol, thank you so much. Everyone go check out cozi.com. Connect online at COZI Family.
Thank you, and give me a shout out if you do connect with us online.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here, and for everyone in the chat room, thanks for being there. And if you're watching the recordings, please subscribe and come on back. Thanks, Carol. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
That's the out music. It's me dancing every time. Okay. We made it.